Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Corner. I'm Art Regner. Time for another edition of Art Regner's video blog for FoxSportsDetroit.com. When I have the glasses on, you know what that means. It's time for football picks, even though sometimes I do have the glasses on, and they're only reading glasses because, I can't see sometimes. Anyway, it's time for football picks. Last week, week 13, or week 12, actually, I was not very good. I was 2-3-1. Which leaves me for the season 35, 34, and 3. My Karsh House Lock of the Week, I was wrong again. I'm now 7-5 on my locks of the week after being 7-1. I started off 6-0, so I am really struggling with my Karsh House Lock of the Week. Here you go. Here it is. As you know, I always show you my picks and all that, but I got a push on Houston and Detroit because it was a 3-point game. I was correct with Washington and Notre Dame. Michigan, Minnesota let me down, and Wisconsin let me down against Penn State, losing in overtime. So there you have it. So for Week 13 picks, let's go to a game that's going to be played tonight, Friday night. The MAC championship game. Northern Illinois is 6.5-point favorite over Kent State. Anytime I think of Kent State, I always think, Tin Soldiers and Nixon coming. Look it up in the history book. Should not be forgotten. Anyway, I think the Golden Flashes are going to cover this game. I think that they have a really good young upcoming coach. Northern Illinois is good. These are two ranked teams, a lot at stake. I would imagine that there's probably going to be more Kent State fans there than there are going to be Northern Illinois fans. So I'm going to say Kent State covers in the MAC championship game. Our second game is the SEC championship game, Alabama versus Georgia. Alabama, the Crimson Tide, are 5-point favorites over the Bulldogs. Even though this game is being played, I think it's always played in Atlanta. I like Alabama all day in this game. I just think that Nick Saban, he knows what's at stake here. He can play for another national championship. Trust me, Alabama's going to be ready. Nothing against Georgia, which seems to be a team that goes up and down a lot. But I just think Alabama has too much to play for. They've been in big games before. Not that Georgia hasn't, but I think that Alabama understands the gravity of the situation and will win that football game by more than 7. The Big Ten Championship, a game that I guess they can't sell tickets to and nobody really cares. I don't care. I'm going to go see Christmas with the Rat Pack on Saturday night. That's how much I cared about it. Although if Michigan or Michigan State were in it, I'd probably be in Indy. I'll be honest with you there. But Nebraska 3 over Wisconsin. Look, both of these teams aren't that great. And maybe it's a reflection of just how down the Big Ten was or is or should be or shouldn't be, wherever you want to go with it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take the Wisconsin Badgers. I think it's 7-5. Everybody kind of just, dissing them and their season. The way Brent Bielema is. I know that Bo Pelini is, pretty intense dude too. And I know that Nebraska beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin has lost a lot of close games. Nebraska's won a lot of close games. So I just feel no matter whomever wins, it's not going to be by 3 points. That's why the line is Nebraska by 3. That's why I'm taking Wisconsin. Now turning our attention to the pro game. Detroit is 5 points over the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm crazy, but I like the Lions in this game. I think after Thanksgiving and, hopefully Jim Schwartz had, as I keep saying, an epiphany. Hopefully that this team is mature and realizes whether or not they're playoff bound to close out the season strong and grow up a little bit. So, I'm taking the Lions, although the smart side of me is telling me, not the emotional side, to take Indy, but I'm taking Detroit. Chicago's a 3.5-point favorite over the Seattle Seahawks. I like Chicago all day in this game. The Bears, and I thought, hey, they're better than I thought they were going to be. I didn't give them much respect or credit at the beginning of the season. Well, they've earned it. Their defense, which everyone thought would be down because they're aging, is pretty damn good. I go with the Bears in that game. And then my Karsh House Lock of the Week, and this is the first time in the Karsh House Lock of the Week that I've gone pro. I like the Baltimore Ravens 3 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Ben Roethlisberger might play, might not, might be out. I don't know. I've heard so many different reports. I just think that Baltimore, who already has a stranglehold on their division, I know that, but they can, they're going to be the best team in football right now. I think if they win, they're 10-2, right? So I think Baltimore wins this game, and they win it by more than 3. So let's take a look at our picks for the week. In the MAC championship game being held at Ford Field at 7 o'clock on Friday night, Well, Northern Illinois, 6.5-point favorite over Kent State. I like Kent State in that game. I think the Golden Flashes are going to at least be able to cover. In the SEC championship game, Alabama is a 7-point favorite over Georgia. I like Alabama. Take Nick Saban. Take Nick Saban. He's the best coach in football. College football, that is. Big Ten championship game, a game that is a real yawner and a real snoozer. Just think if Rutgers and Maryland were in this game, how little people in the Midwest would really care about this. Think about that, Jim Delaney. Anyway, I'm taking Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a 3-point underdog. I am going with the Badgers. Looking at the pro side, Detroit is a 5-point favorite over Indianapolis. I'm going to take the Lions. They're at home. They've got to turn it around sooner or later. They've got to grow up sooner or later. Hopefully it's this Sunday. I'm really going out on a limb here, and I'm picking the Lions. Chicago, 3.5-point favorite over Seattle. I like Chicago in this game. Their defense is just way too good. Jake Cutler, Chicago is hitting some sort of groove that I didn't think that they would hit, so I'm going with the Bears in that game. And then my Karsh House lock of the week. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite over Pittsburgh. I take the Ravens all day long. Besides, I'm sure that Edgar Allan Poe is a little bit peeved that somebody vandalized his house in Baltimore, so the Ravens are going to exact revenge for Poe against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, I like to read. What can I say? All right, that'll do it. That's this edition of the football picks for Week 13. Have a safe and pleasant one, everyone, until we see you again. Take care. I'm Art Regner for FoxSportsDetroit.com, and we'll see you in the Sports Corner real soon. Bye-bye.